Here we have a French derby. Milena plays black against Warren, who takes white. Interesting game, a bit one-sided, but still very interesting. I wouldn't play this pincer. My first remark, but maybe it's fine, maybe it's good. But if I am white, I think I would play here. Maybe looks a bit strange. This is fine, but maybe we can go one point further, no? If black wants to take points on this side, I would be happy to give these points and just make a wall. In the game, white plays a pincer, and I feel weird about it because black already has a group on the third line, a living group on this side. And now as black, I would certainly consider an attachment. A shoulder hit. If white blocks, I would also block and build strength against this group, which is my actual target, leaning on that single stone, which is not my target, but I use its weakness to get strength. So it's difficult for white to ignore it because of the Hane on the head of 2 stones, and if white keeps answering, well, at one point the 3 stones will be in trouble. So maybe now white needs to somehow jump out, and then still maybe it's fine for black to Hane, double Hane, and white is getting a beautiful wall, umbrella, to a completely boring direction because black has an alive group on this side. So this is a strategy which I like, though white might also push. And now I am torn. I don't know if I would block or play here. In both cases, white has a way to connect, which is annoying. Or if black plays here, then white takes the corner, which is very, very big. Maybe better to play like this, because then white's way to connect is much narrower and it's not even a real connection. Actually, it's quite not a real connection. The ko might be very difficult for white. So I think that now I prefer this move. But then white might play this and the weak spot of black's shape. But then what can we do? We just accept. Or maybe white pushes and then plays here, but then we might not accept or not accept even now. So after all, I am not sure if it's best idea, but this leaning is certainly an idea. In the game, black jumps and white jumps out, but this looks a bit far. I think that I would rather play here, like this, and because this move is a cool move, it has a very beautiful continuation, but now that the stones of black are so close on the other side, I don't know how to answer this move of black. If white gets split like this, it doesn't look very promising. Maybe white can hope to do this, but white is locally dead. Looks very, very scary. Yes, it does. So maybe here, but then the shape is quite off. I think that this is a vital point and black shouldn't hesitate to play it. In the game, black plays an attachment. After the attachment, as white, I would extend to this side, because when we are closer to the wall, all these moves start to work to connect us. Maybe black plays here. By the way, it's a reversal of the order of moves, right? It could be like 1, 2, 3. And now we have 3, 2, 1. I think it's interesting for white to play, to have a stone closer to the wall and not really on the outside, because the outside is boring because black has this living group. And then black continued with the double Hane, which was a very smart choice. White played Atari and connected. Okay, a connection looks like a reasonable move. We are taking away black space, but then black cuts us. And actually white cannot hold it. If white extends up, then soon white is in much deeper trouble than black. So instead white sacrificed the single stone, and then black is safe. This means that this group doesn't have trouble. And it means that this stone doesn't have value, because it had value only as a stone which destroys the base, doesn't give base to the opponent, and now the opponent is anyway completely safe. And what does it give to white? Well, not much. It gives white an influence into a towards a very boring side. So this was a mistake by white, and white should have connected here. And then if black wants to capture this stone, okay, let black capture. Black is safe, just like in the game, but this time white has an outside influence and not an influence towards this boring side, and black having the outside influence. At least white gets center to play this move, which is very, very important. If white lost center, then of course black can split white's group. So after all, black is better after the first skirmish. Black continues here. The turn is big, certainly it's big. If black doesn't play it, I think white can seriously consider playing a move like this. Later here and later here is center. So you see, only not the first move, not the second, but the third move can be center, but still it adds something to the value of the first move, because if the continuation of the continuation is center, it means that the continuation is also bigger, the continuation itself, and also the first move is bigger. And the move by itself is very nice. It creates a box, potential box for white, and on the other hand, if black takes that spot, then white is under pressure, and white ends up creating even more boring wall stones, to umbrella stones towards black's strong group. In the game this happens. White doesn't see any other big move, it seems. Well, normally we don't play that one. I think just play here. If black takes the corner, we simply go here. But maybe white is afraid that black splits. That looks like an idea for black. I think we need to agree on that. There is just no choice. Actually, okay, sorry. If you don't want, then prepare to it this way. It should be better than preparing this way. Just make sure that the group is safer. I don't know. Maybe now play here. Still, like, this is just a center move. I mean, half center. It's just weird to play this one, because now this is a very good exchange for black, and other than that, it is a Joseki. Also, locally, this is the move. It's one of the favorite Josekis of Ash Vasquez. Here, and then here, and then here. And then black ends up with this very weird position where black doesn't know, should he or shouldn't, or she in this game. So if black doesn't, then it's center for white. So annoying. Maybe actually now also possible to attach, but generally you don't play this Kusumi. Maybe you attach, but you don't Kusumi. Black added a move. Invasion is never bad. Black also answers in a reasonable way, because this way this high placed stone of white is not, I mean, it is leaking. White's area is leaking from below. Though the stone is also useful for destroying the moyo of black. For now, white builds here, but it was, white blocked the line, but it created a very big move for black, which also destroys the edge of the stone. That's why the move is really annoying. So I'm not sure if this was a gain for white, sorry. Maybe it's better to invade right away. So white played these moves and invaded only afterwards. And the normal invasion is here. Generally, this is how we approach a 4th line stone. We play on the 3rd line, on the knight's move from the 4th line stone. The basic thing which we do in all corners in Go, here and here. This is all the same principle that we approach, how we approach a 4th line stone. And after this, maybe black kicks and we can go here. There is some weakness in black's shape and we can build a group for now. Or maybe we play this to be faster somehow. This is a common way of playing. If black plays Hanem, then Usually white is satisfied with this result, though maybe on this board, if black is just better on points, black can actually choose it. In the game we see an attachment, and attachment seems premature. Attachment we usually play to stronger formations than this one. Yeah, and then black pressures. Black puts pressure on white, so here, yeah, here black's shape would be thinner, and now black's shape is so thick, black puts pressure on white. Maybe white should somehow just make a base, but it's nothing more than that, than just making a base. So white tries to do more, and white manages quite well. White played this in a brave manner. I don't know if this is correct or not, but certainly it is making the game complicated. Had black connected, white would follow by splitting black's shapes. So instead black tries to so probably white was afraid that if just here, then a cut awaits him, which is probably the case. So black prepares first, white prepares first, black tries to counterattack, and white doesn't hesitate and cuts. Now if white follows with a normal move, white would be in trouble, so instead white connects, black gets this super valuable move in the corner and lives. Now if white plays here, black can live with this move, right? This looks rather straightforward, and if this and this, right? I don't know, white can try this one, but then black simply lives, so yeah, there is nothing more. Black is alive after this move, but black is split on the outside. However, luckily for black, black is alive on the top, so now black can focus on the fight on the right side, and I think that generally black is doing not bad in this fight, but it's certainly complicated. We reduced white's area to only 3 points. This group is very thin, and this group will manage to run, but it is complicated. It is a complicated situation. Now black added a move. It was not really needed, as we learned, but it's still very big. Later we can easily cut off the 2 stones, otherwise we wouldn't be entitled to do it. And after this move, black does a very smart thing. I don't know if this is the best thing you can do on this board, but generally in such situations, if you are ahead, this is a good condition for that. But also if fighting doesn't really benefit you because you cannot gain much. Here maybe fighting can benefit black if black can manage to split the group, but probably even if black manages to split it somehow, let's say black split it, let's say it happened like this, still the group of white will probably find its way not very hard, with not much difficulty. Therefore black thinks, why would I fight? I will just make sure that nothing bad happens to me. And black goes ahead and builds ice. That's 2 ice. Sorry, that's 2 ice. Great. No problem anymore. And actually this move is quite valuable for endgame. And if black is ahead, then yeah, this is a very good way to just keep things close. Be very careful with this advice, because very often it's really not the thing which you should do. Just go and make 2 ice. Most often, I think that to most players, to even 1 dan level, I would always teach that you shouldn't do it. But maybe when you are already a high dan player, you can sometimes see these situations and then remember this, that sometimes you just make 2 ice very quickly. It's the best you can do. Also one thing for that, sometimes your opponent can destroy your ice in center, and then you don't want to give them that chance. For example, here maybe white thinks about this move. So actually white could have played this one, and I think it would be much better than what white played in the game. If black goes here, then we destroy ice very easily, and yeah, black's in trouble. And if black now tries to build these ice quickly, well, it's not as good as in the game. So first of all, in the game black created this eye in center, here it is gote, and this also means that the second eye might be still taken away by white. I mean, it's a bit crazy, but maybe possible to take away the other eye. So this would be a much better spot. Probably white didn't expect that black will choose this high level strategy of very quickly making 2 eyes. This strategy of double digit Q and high down players. Yeah, so now the game looks very difficult for white. Point wise, certainly white is much behind. Let's count. Let's say white has 15 points, 25, white has a bit more than 30, and black has, let's say, 25, 30, and then black has this, a few here, potential to capture these. White has some potential around here, also black can capture this. White has some potential around here, but it's open from here and also from the top. So yeah, black is ahead. I don't know, maybe by 10 points, maybe by, yeah, I don't want to say more, but maybe by 10 points actually. But white cuts, and this is actually a chance to make it more difficult for black. If I were black, I don't know, why wouldn't I play here? What? Why didn't black do this? I think it is a counter which simply works. This is nothing. But somehow black played Atari first and then needed to go back, and now was the chance for black. The chance to connect. And black cannot capture this. This is very straightforward that white runs. I don't know. Maybe black plays here, then white needs to run. Let's say white runs, and there is some problem around here, right? So maybe this was on the is there? Yeah, I think so. I'm not sure. It seems like not a big problem. So yeah, this way black would be split. I think that this is the only move black has now. Maybe there is something I don't see, something I miss. Maybe this move is difficult to handle for black, but I think it's not difficult actually. This we can very easily manage as black. So yeah, this was a mistake, a big mistake, which can complicate the game again, but luckily for black, white first tries to play a bit more center moves on the outside, and then black finds a moment, no, I don't want this fight, I just captured the cutting stones, and then yeah, then the game is just too difficult for white. White needs to somehow, I don't know, build 40 points around here, and it's not possible because black simply goes in, finds cuts in white's shapes, and then white resigned because white clearly has less. So that's it. Thank you for listening, and let's move to the next game. Bye bye.